Okay, hello. I'm back after doing a start-stop on the stream. We probably have exactly 0 video viewers on Twitch. We may get one. I think the probability has been saying every once in a while we get one on Twitch, but this is basically going to mainly be recording for YouTube. We're back to doing the Facebreaker build. I did a little bit of forethought on where skill points are going to go. And I went ahead and picked up a flame dash, so we actually have a movement ability to get around a little bit faster. We already got plenty of health, so basically we're just trying to zoom through this act. We even have plenty of resists for all the way up into Act 5. May need a little bit more resists to go into Act 6, but basically there isn't any reason this build shouldn't just be zooming towards its final inevitable goal. At least getting to Act 5 to do some farming. So there isn't any reason necessarily to stop and kill things, other than the fact that the build isn't invincible, so just stopping to kill things means they're not following us through the rest of the map. And the build does do enough damage that you can sort of two-hit things, so there isn't a good reason to sort of stop. Every once in a while, just take a bunch of the ground to clear some enemies, can get some extra. And yeah, so here we're going to go say hello to Piety again. Piety is actually the first thing in Act 3 that's going to have any sort of real threat to her. I think with Facebreaker, even she's not going to have anything. Yeah, Sarah's build was having a little bit more problems at this point, damage-wise, than the Facebreaker build is. Though, granted, a lot of the Facebreaker damage is front-loaded with how Facebreaker works. So, if anything, we're going to have more problems as we level, because Facebreaker isn't scaling as quickly as a normal weapon would. So, a normal weapon scales where you're finding the weapon, so we won't have to stop and try to find weapons every once in a while. We can just roll with the terrible loot situation you're in. Basically, this build doesn't need loot to function most of the way through the first half of Acts. We'll probably do a little bit of looting in Act 5 to make sure we're resist capped for Act 6. And again, probably loot a little bit at Act 10 to make sure we're resist capped for maps. Other than that, this build is basically ready just to zoom all the way to maps. And as we go, we're going to pick up skills, and a lot of our damage is going to come from skills, which means we're not looking for things per se as we're going. We're just going. I mean, there's just been less time trying to kill things and more time just getting to where we need to be. This is a big room. This is the room. Yeah, this is the room. Okay.
You're simply too stupid to be realistic, aren't you, brute?
Maybe. Though apparently smart enough to do flame dash. Lightning damage only tickles. It definitely is more damage. It's the perpetual problem. You always want more damage. If you have enough time to contemplate anything, if you needed more damage, then you want more damage. I'm not currently contemplating it here, fighting Piety. Granted, I think you only have to have to kill Piety for her to run away. So she should be running away right now. There we go. There we go. I mean, Lord of Luck is timing this a little quicker. This is one of the few situations where you have to actually talk to the NPC to get the quest item to keep going. So, now that we've got that bracelet, we give it to Calissa here to get the keys for the hatch we saw a little bit earlier, if you were observant. So now that we have those keys, we can go through that hatch. the hatch. To be fair, grabbing more life I don't need, but the build does, in the long run, well, doesn't necessarily need that life, but does need more life. We don't quite have enough life for axe, or for maps yet. And the raw damage in the tree is quite a way off from where we are. Yeah, so Facebreaker, in this case in Act 3, is going to be somewhat quick transversal of Act 3. It's mostly going to be walking from place to place, or, well, heavily using the Quicksilver Flask, so to maximize the amount of time spent running from place to place. Which will actually be the main reason probably we're stopping to kill things, is to build the flask back up. Sorry Cassia, we don't like Blight here. This is not a characteristic of Blight. Not actually that bad with map size Blight, but Blight maps in general are not very good, which is we're not going to run into them very much in maps, because I don't actually have an Atlas. I did off the Atlas. So here's the second bust. We want one more bust before we leave. That's not the bust. We will take the detour for the train. The train will have a nice high density monsters to kill. Reflash the Quicksilver Flasks. That's not where we want to go yet. I'm missing one. I'm gonna spend some time backtracking because I missed something. Not that end knows. It was this weird one with this end. Yeah. Oh, it might be behind Cassia. That's probably the missed turn I made. Should have actually gone down Cassia way. Whoopsie. Yeah. Oh, I made the wrong turn again. Now to leave the sewers. We'll be back. The one we're back, it'll basically be to leave the sewers again, so. Nice quick in and out through Act 3. Do you like the boss for Act 3? Though again, this might be a scenario where boss is reasonably tanky and Facebreaker is almost the entirety of the damage this character is making. Oh, we apparently had a viewer for all of 7 seconds. That's what Twitch is telling me. Ah, forgot to upgrade the heading, so if they popped in for SRS and are saying Facebreaker, they're going to be very confused. Give me one, I'll fix that. Just up to that, and I'm hearing the thunder in the distance. So this is the second time we're through maps. Second time coming through Axe, right? So first time you go down into the catacombs, but we're not gonna do that because we don't need to do that. Technically don't need to pick that up, but it's there, so I'm picking it up. And I will go say hi to Fairgraves, whether I have it or not. And if I have it, he'll just take it off of me. And I won't have to come back later if I need the skill points. Or not the skill points, the respec points. 4 skills. Skill respec points. Which is why I don't need to pick that up. So we're not getting any skill points from it. Okay. Another one of the mandatory quest items. There's one mandatory one on the docks, which is where we're going to go next, and then it's in to see the Gemling Queen to deliver the dock mandatory item and mandatory item we just grabbed, at which point she'll give us the stuff we need to continue in the sewer. To go say hi to Heidi and her friend from the Inquisition. After which we'll go face Dominus. Be a little careful because normally the way you do this out of order puts you low level here, right? So I think the story technically has you go say hello to the Gemling Queen before you come down to the docks. So effectively skip 2 zones worth of leveling before coming here, which is why we're like 27, whereas for most of the acts I've been sitting like happy 2 levels above the zone. We do want to avoid being 3, well not 3, 3 would be fine, but we don't want a full 4 below. Which I suppose that means being 2+ most of the time for this situation is actually ideal, because we're not worrisomely below. Oh, I have to do this with the. I didn't need to let him out, but I did. The zone boss was in the essence this time. It's up that way. I'm not having the best luck with finding where I need to go. There's definitely lots of places I could increase damage. One is I could actually link the Facebreaker, or well, not the Facebreaker, the Ground Slam I'm using. So, that was not the button I intended to hit. I did not mean to go there. Back to the docks. Let's say hello to Fairgraves. Takes the item I found going through the alien zone. It's not taking my inventory. Usually he's very close to where we need to go. So that probably means where we need to go is the end of this. Oh, no, it's not the end of the spear. This must have been the left instead of the right. Let's see if there's a reward. And one of the items I have gives me a little bit of ES shield. So if you're wondering why I have any ES shield, that's why. It's just one of the random items we got on. It's got a little bit on it. It's not a useful amount as far as scarce is concerned, which is why we're seeing a lot very frequently at 0 if we've been hit recently. Apparently I've been taking all the long ways to get to the one place I needed to actually go. There it is, finally, through the fog of war. Grab you. At this point it's going to be quicker to portal out. Picked up the 3 busts, so let's drop them off at this guy right now.
The Beatles.
For our skill point. I'm gonna go back to the battlefront and back to being the correct level or correct level for the zone. I might not actually level, because I'm mainly just zooming at this point, right? Because I don't need anything other than to get where I'm going. I'll have to be a little bit careful not to under-level myself as we're going along.
This is the
And
eternal
here we
way.
go on, you got 34, 40, 48. So nope, nothing yet. And at some point I will have to pick a body armor off the floor or something, just to have some armor, because we've literally been running around with the loincloth on functionally for the first 2.5 acts at this point. If for no other reason than it's giving us a speed boost not having an armor on. I think we're also getting 10% life for not having an armor on. Not because it's 10% life for not having an armor on, but because, well, you can't have life on an armor if you're wearing no armor. The non-armor has no life. And I find the dead end again. Finding all the dead ends today. And we're already basically halfway through. Act 3. Act 3 is pretty quick when you don't need to stop and smell the roses. Here's what's effectively the zone bosses for this zone. Which will have decent XP, which is why I'm taking the time to kill them. 2 unique monsters so close to each other is a good source of XP. As you can see how tanky this build is, we're functionally taking no damage from anything because it just heals back quicker than we're taking it. Could do with more damage, but the easiest way to get damage right now would be get some slots that we can link to the ground slam. So ground slam's not just raw ground slam. That is basically what we're using. We're using just raw ground slam to get through here. So that's also kind of showing you the raw power of Facebreaker this early on. It's not necessarily best in slot for maps, but for just doing the axe early on, when it comes on first, it's very strong for no weapon builds. Probably will have to at some point spend a bunch of divines re-rolling this one, because this has almost got min roll on the more unarmed damage. So there's a lot of room for improvement on this Facebreaker. It's always an interesting feeling when you get into the exchanging of blows effects like that. And you're winning it just because you have more regen. So there's the Javelin Queen.
What is that?
We chat with her twice to get rid of 2 items. We'll take the amulet. The amulet probably isn't worth it. We get the infernal attack, which is what we need to continue the axe. Find out that the gold amulet is in fact worthless. It's just made of gold, and you know, in this apocalypse, gold is worthless. except for the coins. The gold coins are apparently worth a lot, but the gold actually functionally is worthless if it's not magically a coin. Okay, so basically we got 3 mini bosses to go. Here's an example of one of those 3 bosses. We got the general here. He's very heavily showing off my lack of damage. I might actually have to skip this guy because he's too tanky. We're gonna be able to do it. Wasn't capped fire resist with this amount of hit points, so you wouldn't be doable, but because I've got way too many hit points and plenty of fire resist, it's not fun, but he's not undoable. I have to be careful he gets that inner shield back. That would be a very bad day. There we go. I think if I go back to town right now, I'd get another skill point. But that wouldn't necessarily help with anything immediately, so... Yeah, because I'm zooming. I'm 28 and 29 area. I should actually slow down and do the proverbial smell the roses a bit more, because we don't really want to be underleveled for the Dominus fight. Not that this build scales well with levels. We don't need to make it even harder on ourselves. Temple the first time through, or well, the first level of it isn't that bad. Not a fan of the second level, I have to say. Little too much blood and screams. And I do like the blue aesthetic of them cleaning it up for, what is that, Act 8? Where they clean it up? Making the wrong choices. There's the owl.
Piety, you are truly Kitava's slave.
Kari, and here commenting on piety being a little bit too pious to the wrong gods. I think we're now level 30 and a level 30's arm. Oh no, 29, yeah. We need to spend a little more time actually in these zones. And here I'm going to take the reduced life regen on other guys, because low damage builds don't really like life regen. So I could be zooming off to Piety really quickly at this point, assuming I don't get lost. Oh, I suppose that's maybe a question here. Maybe I shouldn't be trying to kill everything just because I will get lost in it, killing everything. Which is not what we want. That's not what we want. So it wouldn't be bad to hit 30 before we hit Piety. That's a dead end. This is more the right way. Here's another roll of thunder in the distance. Hopefully we won't have another brownout in the recording. So if you're watching on YouTube and the recording suddenly stops somewhere, that is because we had a brownout during the recording that caused the recording to stop. But we've only had one brownout this afternoon. So I'm not necessarily expecting it. I suppose one is more than most people would have expected anyway, so maybe I should be expecting it. It's gonna be this way. Yeah, this way. It looks like we're not gonna level for Piety. I think we're still gonna be 29 when we reach Piety. Again, not necessarily that changes anything. We're not getting any level. We're not getting any. Well, we'll get a little bit of damage from the level up because the next one will be a like +10 strength. which translates to like plus 2% fizz damage, or 2% increased fizz damage. Okay, this part. I either just made the wrong turn, in which case I'll be back here to take the left instead of the right, or I made the right turn and we saved a couple seconds going the right way. This guy with no shield apparently has the capacity to block attacks with his non-existent shield, which is why he's not dead yet. There we go. Yep. So I said a couple seconds, we'll go the other way. But yeah, so the way you tell is based on the number of carts. I just forgot which number of carts mattered. But if you didn't want to go down that dead end and only go down the right way, you would have had to count the number of carts, and that's always the specific number of carts to dictates which way is which. Audio has changed. Not 100% sure why. I do appreciate the reduction in screams, but it was very disconcerting when it was changing. Oh, the screams are back. Yeah, we didn't make it 40 before fighting, so we don't get that 2% more damage, 2% increase more damage to fighting.
You've done your ancestors proud, Khan. Now, here's your warrior's death. Do the honorable...
Okay, Pity's not being that bad. She is teleporting away, which is annoying, but she does that to all builds, so not a particular problem with this build. I'm getting yelled at to do the honorable, and then I'm cutting it off. Maybe we should try to say, do the honorable thing and die. Just, you know, we don't agree with that last bit, so. And there goes Piety. So now we port back to town. He was saying something about we'll take everything to Dominus before we died, as I think what the voice line was. We have the determination. We actually have gem slots, those might be useful. Earthquake is the ult, one of the ults to ground slam with Overseers.
Why are you still standing there?
Why? Stay out of the shadows.
Tie to you. I think Grimgore. One of these guys I think gives me a skill point. Probably, yeah, it's the last one I check is going to be the skill point. There we go.
Tread carefully.
Alright, I'm going to take one swing at the labyrinth, see if we can take the labyrinth down quickly. Before we go to Dominus. Take the first labyrinth down, and then we'll go run up to Dominus. And that will probably be where we call the video.
You stand before the gates of the Lord's labyrinth. Within these walls, the Lady of Justice doth preside. Ascend with precision.
Oh, we're a little under-leveled here. But we'll level probably pretty quickly to 30. Yeah, now we're in pick up damage territory, so we're gonna try to run all the way down to Rest of the Lock and Top and Discipline of the Unyielding, which is a long way to go, but there'll be lots of things we'll pick up after we get down there that are on the way. Be a little careful in here, because a lot of the traps do damage proportional to your life, and I have a lot of life, so that's not good. Luckily, the first time through, our friend, the talking statue, doesn't get any traps, so I won't have to worry about the traps in the boss room. Here we go, into the first experience trial.
Oh, the weary traveler draws close to the end of the path.
Oh, he said that to everyone. Regardless whether you're actually weary.
And the world attends.
Hello, Izaro, our talking robot statue.
Prove yourself, Ascendant.
And much like Hillock, we do donuts around him. And that makes it really hard for him to hit us.
Stand your ground.
You say that, but that would just make it too easy for you. Instead, I'm going to do donuts around you, booping the ground in your general direction every time you take a swing. Clearly adds a bit. Using the valid ground slams, clearly adds a little bit faster. I think we only need to do a third of his hit points in this first version with him.
Marta.
Either I'm really tanky, or I'm actually doing a reasonably good job at dodging him.
Stay the course. You are inexhaustible.
There he is, there's Egon.
This empire remains filled with emperors in waiting.
Number 3 fights in first labyrinth down. 2 more to go. Here's our introduction to the traps. Yeah, this build right now is actually, I think, faster than my SRS popcorn build. It's the no armor, getting 20% movement speed from the boots. Maybe short burst, the SRS one is still a little faster. That's just showing you the raw speed potential that this build has over the SRS build, which is basically as fast as it's going to get. I am surprised I'm already at the second sprint trial.
When the time comes to strike,
Back to punch in the ground in Izaro's general direction. I'll do donuts around him.
Is when one defiles the effigy, one defiles the emperor. Finish this.
Definitely like this build having a lot more damage.
Honor your name.
The directionality of all the ads here is making it a little bit hard to do the donuts around him, which is what's going on right now. That's why I'm getting hit at all. On the other hand, these ads, because they are technically unique, really fill that Val ground slam up real fast.
Claw your way to the top. Such resilience.
Oh, he's done. Okay, one more go, and we should be done with Azara. Then we'll go do the same to Dominus. The Dominus will be probably a little harder than Zara, because Dominus is a mage instead of a melee, where we're going to pull the electro element on. Through that section of traps. This is where having the gap closer comes in useful as well. It allows me to get through the trap sections by taking a little bit of little shortcuts like that. This is actually the fastest way to to Azaro and Dominus. So we'll go this way. Okay, we're out in the domain crossing. There's an out. Is it the right out? No, that's the wrong out. I think that would functionally be backwards, which is not what we want. And there's the Spirit's Trial. So here we come, Zaro, for round number 3.
Aspirant can afford to be promising. An emperor must keep.
Zaro is continuing to talk about what it takes to be a good emperor, which is apparently like 11,000 HP at this point. Or, well, not 11,000, 1,100 HP at this point.
Finish this. Rise to the occasion.
And there is Zaro going slowly. He is going reasonably quickly. Well, I say going reasonably quickly for how slow this build is, right? So SRS has a lot of damage. And it's not necessarily very great single target damage, because you can't really direct it to the target you want, so in this scenario it would be going off on everything. Whereas in this case, this one's going off everything because I'm aiming it at everything instead of it necessarily being bad at targeting.
You are relentless.
Well, the entire plan is to be a juggernaut, so relentless is kind of a required keyword for that.
The trap of tyranny is inescapable.
Been making a comment upon how governing systems work, yep. Anyway, clearing out the ads and pick up the keys.
Before your emperor, you are worthy. Before the goddess of justice, you are worthy. Receive our blessings, embrace our gifts, and rise, ascendant. For this is the ending that we all deserve.
Oh, I can't do it on that one. Okay. This is a shame. Turn cry? It didn't turn cry. Not the best thing to do, but it's a thing to do, so we do it on it. We're doing Juggernaut,
What divides the conqueror from the conquered?
and we go down here. Get
Perseverance.
monitor charge every second if you've been hit recently. Make us extra tanky. Now to go say hi to Dominus. Not an upgrade. We've got an upgrade, it just doesn't kick in until 4. And it's 40. Let's get our junk out of our inventory before we go to Dominus in case we find some good stuff on the way.
Good luck to you.
this stream is going to go ahead and end after we defeat Dominus. I probably will do the causeway up to the town. Otherwise, it basically ends as soon as we defeat Dominus. I'm gonna take a quick short break to turn the AC on. I'll be back in a short moment.
Hide in towers built of fear.
Okay, sorry about that. And really sorry to the people on the YouTube. I'll try to remember to put timestamp in the YouTube to tell you when you can skip ahead towards. I really need to take a very short break there, and I didn't want to figure out how to how to edit the YouTube video later to stitch the two parts together after splitting the recording. So I have them currently as one recording. Maybe I'll try doing a re-record to see if I can fix that, but for the moment, that's not the case. Figured one break there. We're at level 30, we're in level 32 area, which is fine. You want to be the area plus or minus 3 plus 1 for every 16 levels, so we wouldn't want to be below 27 here. And really, right now, what we're trying to get as we level up isn't really going to give us any damage. So it's at least nothing's going to give real damage before we get past Dominus. So there's no rush to get leveled. You've got what we get. Okay, that's one of the things we're running down here is grabbing this. We'll give us damage per endurance charge. Really good. And then we'll probably then grab the endurance charge over here and the endurance charge over here. Go up to our 6 endurance charges. And 6 times 8 is 48% more increased damage. So we can keep the endurance charges up. Might be a harder thing to do during boss fights, but like that's the next big damage spike. That's what we're going towards. Endurance charges also give physical damage reduction. So unlike my SRS build that has basically no phys damage, and phys damage reduction is just trying to phase tank all phys damage. This build will actually have some phys reduction, which against a lot of things will make it tankier in the long run. Even if in the short run he looks squishier. That's what I forgot to do. I forgot to turn off the trade tab. What is that by? There. That should not have trade randomly showing up. Okay, I was asking, is anyone selling unique maps? And I engage with trade more. I probably would be willing to sell him like the one unique map I have, but I don't. I suspect he probably doesn't even want the unique map I have. He's probably a very specific unique map. I don't think we can get to 32 for dominance. I think dominance is 32. See higher. Upper sculptor. This is where dominance is. Oh, he's probably in the 33. Oh, so I got the 34. I'd be able to put these boots on. But yeah, we're not gonna level 3 times for dominance, so like we're at the right level, but that would require resetting the zone to get that much XP for one zone. And we're approaching 1200 life, which is actually enough life for the Act 4 boss. So much like we zoomed through Act 3 here, we'll probably zoom through Act 4 as well. Granted, I say zoomed. It took us about an hour. This guy's not necessarily doing the greatest damage versus bosses. But we aren't having to stop for anything except for killing bosses at this point, so killing these ones quick. My casual butt. The dreaded doors. To open them. So that's one advantage of doing incursions. The doors, I believe, open for you if you get close enough to them. Or at least the enemies will open them for you, so you can fly through them real quick. If there's one more floor, if there's one more floor. I'll see when we get to the next door. Next door will tell me very easily. It's staircase. We're on the final, or it's the second last floor. No, we're on the last floor. This is the last floor. Onto the roof. Say hello to Dominus.
I exiled an animal. Now you will
Almost resemble a man. taking more damage I would ideally like at this point in the fight. These are his remaining lieutenants. Then we'll move into the miscreations that'll come up. And the Dominus himself will come down to fight. That's why I'm not necessarily super happy that we're this damage is early on. I need that. I need those health pods for probably fighting the miscreations. Miscreations are usually more troublesome than these guys. And here we're seeing the overcap lightning resistant at work. Fire guy who's swinging fire at me. He'd probably be better off actually just putting up and hitting me with that axe, that hammer, than to fling fire at me, because I'm overcapped fire resist right now. See, he comes in for the actual melee and actually does real damage. Definitely feeling the damage difference between this build and the SRS. The SRS had no damage problems at this point, but was not necessarily as tanky as you'd want. This one's having a lot of damage problems, but is incredibly tanky. Sort of chuckling at things that should hurt, but aren't really hurting. The map boss for Val Temple. Really good map to do if you want a lot of map bosses to fight.
Seen the true
Alright, here comes Dominus.
Die! The light of divinity!
Okay, note to self. That still hurts. Probably because it's a fizzed lamp. As electric as it looks, it's probably not actually related to electricity.
The light of divinity! The touch of God! Shrink not from... The touch of God! Nightmare, brother! The touch of God! Die in awe! The light of divinity! Shrink not from the touch of God!
As long as I dodge that slam, this is a fairly casual fight apparently. It's not, doesn't quite have the damage delivery to phase this really tanky build.
The light of divinity. Frank not from the touch of God. The light of divinity. Frank not from the light of divinity. This world is an illusion, Exile.
There's commenting, Ray the Fourth one commenting on the fact that the game is in fact a game. Exile, yeah, no, the gamer behind the Exile knows what's going on. It's easy to find something like Cthulhu Beast from Beyond the Void. This is a bit of a slow fight just because we don't have the ideal damage output, I suppose. We apparently created that for all the tankiness in the world, because this is the most threatening things he has aren't super threatening. There we go. He'll Dominus. Usually, what's her face comes up to talk to us? Oh, now she showed up. Too late. We'll talk to her here.
Bye-bye.
Follow a dead river to the foot of Kitava's kingdom. Just how the elders at home told it.
So this is the aqueduct. We're basically going to end the stream when we make it to the next town, which is coming up, and the recording. This will be on YouTube. I've been running one video a day. The first part should be up already. If you're watching this on the Twitch VOD between now and when this one goes up. I suppose if you're watching this on the YouTube VOD after this goes up, you know obviously this will be up there. This will be up in 3 days on YouTube. Just to space them out. We'll probably, well, maybe might not do another VOD tomorrow. I don't know how my Monday plans are going to be. But we're gonna do a bunch of recording in the next couple days and try to get ahead release so I can have something coming up every day on YouTube. I'll probably stream that recording live on Twitch when it's happening. This will be the last of Path of Exile for the day. I'll probably swap over to something different and do another recording. I'm taking a quick stretch break. I don't know if I'll dive right back into Long Dark, because I did Long Dark last night. Or do something entirely different. Probably dive back into Long Dark. Yeah, so I think we got the one sort of one zone boss coming up, and otherwise we're just gonna roll into town. Sort of stop and smell the roses a little bit coming through, because I could run past all this stuff, but we're a 32 and a 33 area, so we don't want to fall too far behind. We do actually need the level for the life requirements. Otherwise we'll be too squishy when we get to Axe. As surprising as it does seem right now, where we're probably tanking enough in order to take on the Act boss at the beginning of the Act. You get XP, or you get life less and less from the tree as you go along, and more from just the leveling for a while, because leveling is what you're multiplying, right? You're getting like, I think it's like 12 hit points a level times all the modifiers from the tree, right? So most of our life is actually going to come from leveling, and leveling kind of slows down a little bit as you get through the later acts. Get closer and closer to 68. Leveling slows down. So it might look like we're good right now, but that's, we don't want to get too far behind. We want to at most be at this point 28, or at least be 28, which we are. We don't want to end up in that scenario even worse later on. Because going forward, less and less of our damage is going to scale with level, and more of it's going to be tankiness that scales with level. So we're going to need to actually still need the level. And here we are at the Act 3 town. So if you missed any of the earlier parts and they're not up on Twitch anymore, feel free to watch them on YouTube. Same Twitch username. It's Wilco100. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you know it's Wilco100 because you're on YouTube. See you guys all later.